You never know what's going to happen.
Exclusively.
What is this?
77 WABC.
If you could only have one guy, just one guy, that you put in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I don't know why that would be. Maybe because there's a small Hall of Fame and there's a fire inspector that says you can only have one guy that can go in that Hall of Fame. That guy, that guy's going to be Brett Favre.
Robert De Niro playing the Frankenstein monster?
Look at me, huh? I am the Frankenstein monster. I have bolts in my neck. I'm electric and scary. Ooh. Do not bring that fire near me.
Before anyone ever cared where I would play basketball, I was a kid from Northeast Ohio. It's where I walked. It's where I ran. It's where I cried.
Thank you for coming to Trump Confessionals, the #1 confessional in not just the United States, but the entire world, and that includes the Vatican. It really does.
I got in an argument with my neighbor. It was over this wall that I built between our properties.
I'm trying to absorb this. You built the wall?
Yes, I did.
Then make him pay for it.
I can ask him.
No, you tell him. Asking will get you nowhere. You just tell people what to do. It's in my book, The Art of the Deal.
Brilliant. That's the only way you can say that. The great Frank Caliendo doing all those voices. John Madden, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, Donald Trump. Nobody better in the years that we've known Frank. Nobody better. All those days on the Fox pregame show. There's a lot of time with ESPN now. And by the way, you can catch Frank Caliendo coming up Wednesday night, which, of course, is tomorrow night at the Hartford Funny Bone. That's at 7:30 p.m. in Hartford, Connecticut. Thursday, he'll be at the Wellmont Theater in Montclair, New Jersey. Friday, he'll be in Huntington, New York at the Paramount. That's at 8 p.m. show. And Saturday at the Borgata, the gorgeous Borgata Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City for a 9 p.m. show. With that said, we start off hour number 2 of the Bernie and Sid show with the very, very funny, the genius, Frank Caliendo.
What's up, yo?
How are you? I'm just feeling like a hairful minority.
We get that all the time.
Is that really what it is?
They come in because Sid and I are follically challenged, and Noam Laden is he's flat out bald as we are, and that's the first thing people notice. 3 bald-headed guys.
Oh, now I feel totally unoriginal.
That's quite all right. My point is that I feel like a victim. I can play the victim card. I like that. I'm sorry. It makes me feel good. I'm an aggrieved person. You're picking on sort of we're physically challenged. We're the handicapped.
Right.
You're picking on us.
Man, I'm so un-PC.
Yes.
I didn't realize
and I'm a victim. The tables have been turned. I love it.
How about that? That's amazing. The things you learn, how quickly you can become a victim in this society.
That's right.
And let me tell you how we can fix that. I've really been enjoying the Trump stuff, and it's amazing to me that he's almost working like a hypnotist. Have you noticed this? I don't care where people are on the political spectrum. That's not what I'm not when I come from the comedy that I do is not like a Jon Stewart or a Bill Maher or something like that. I just kind of make fun of everybody. But Trump has this thing where he will create a fact, and the way he does it is at the end of it, he will say these words, and everybody knows it.
Yes. Right.
So what happens is he'll make something up, like there's an entire colony that's been discovered on Mars. 100% of these people, not a single voter is voting for Hillary Clinton. Crooked Hillary. 100% of the Martians are voting for me, and everybody knows it. And then you'll be walking down the street, and you'll hear people going, "Did you hear about the colony of people on Mars? They just found?" Yeah. Do you know they're all voting for Trump? Everybody knows it. It's amazing. And he does that other thing where he's
got a couple, too. He's also got, you can believe me.
That I can tell you.
That I can tell you.
That
believe
I can
me
tell
when
you.
I tell you. Right.
And I'm not the only one saying this.
That's right.
Even when he is completely the only one saying it.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one saying this. There are a lot of people who are saying this types of thing.
Big league.
Big league. Yeah. So I did a sketch with him years ago, and take this whichever way you want with it, because he's a different person. I don't know about now, but when I met him, I was expecting used car guy, just kind of like sleazy, slimy, just gonna massage everything. And he on TV he was that guy. Off TV he was self-deprecating. He was a totally different person, and we went. He got the joke, right? The joke of what he was. So we're halfway through the sketch, and he's like, "Wait, something went wrong." He's like, "Is this okay? It seems okay. Does everybody think this is okay?" And everyone's like, "Yes, Mr. Trump, fantastic, Mr. Trump, great, Mr. Trump." I was like, "Wait. Does anybody ever say something isn't good?" He looks at me very seriously and goes, "No, Frankie, that's part of the problem. I can't get real answers."
That's true.
So. It was just an incredible thing, and then he took me down.
No, just stop 1 second. It's funny you say that because almost every comedian that has been in here, all of you guys, have met Donald at some point,
right?
And have all said the same thing that guy on TV, which a lot of people can't stand, including me,
right,
is not the guy that you meet when you meet the guy in real
life. Right,
life.
and there's two ways to look at that. Is he's not that actual person, and he's just trying to win an election by being that guy. Yeah. And that's brilliant on one side of it. But the other side of it is, how can somebody be that much, pretend that much on TV and then be a totally different person that they don't show anybody unless they're behind the scenes, talking quietly. So, because it hurts their persona on the air. So, you can look at it both ways. And I think everybody does that with politics anyways, right?
Sure.
Whenever somebody is on your side, you just go, well, no, they're just trying to do what's best.
Right,
and then when they're against you, can you believe they did that?
Yep, exactly right. No, listen, me, I think he's a performer in front of thousands and thousands of people. And a la the performance that Sit Down with Jimmy Fallon the other night, he was the reserved, quiet, nice guy that you talked about.
Right.
And
Fallon got killed for that.
Got slaughtered.
But I don't think that's fair to Jimmy Fallon. Just because that's not his job.
Of course not.
Right.
It's
ridiculous.
Not his
job. For people, you can.
He's not Bill O'Reilly.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right. If you want to go after
Matt
Lauer a little bit, but I think if that's not where your questions lead you, and that's not where you're taken aback or something like that, or taken off guard, it's bad. It's poor as a journalist that happened to you. But you can't go after the person and go, "You're a terrible person for not doing this." I don't like that.
And I may point out that when Hillary Clinton sat down with Jimmy Kimmel and showed a human side of herself, and he did not press. I mean, he didn't ask her about email. He didn't get slaughtered the same way Fallon did for treating Trump as just a celebrity that he is, instead of getting into politics.
Right. Yeah. So and it's always it's interesting. Trump just says some things that are so over the top that get people going, that people are like, well, we have to try and destroy this guy.
There's some hate out there, man.
Yeah, but I
hate him.
It's so funny. Well, that's fine. I
think
my wife loves him. My wife thinks he's I can
you don't
take
care.
it. I think of it as I do as like everybody else does with it's lesser of two evils. But when people go, well, you're going to go to hell. I think Louis Black, you're going to go to hell.
Right.
And I love Louis Black.
Either way.
But it's so funny when you're picking you're picking your lesser of two evils. So you might believe something a little bit different. It's so funny how we'll go after people so harshly that believe differently than us.
Yeah, but the other thing is, it's also so funny how people will defend somebody when in fact they admit they're the lesser of two. Like me, I killed Donald Trump and I killed Hillary Clinton every single day.
Right.
Now I've admitted I'm going to go with Hillary, but the fact is I killed them both because they are the lesser of one. They're both evil.
Right.
So when somebody goes, well, I'm picking the lesser of two evils, and then defends one of them, at that point, you're not
But now let's do what a lot of the media does. Now you're on the side of H.W. Bush.
Yes.
Because you and you're partners. You're buddies.
I happen to love him anyway. Right. I've always loved him.
Well, no, but I mean, that's funny because a lot of people get mad about that stuff. If you're on the same side as somebody else, it's so funny how somebody will point out, well, that person, likes him, so I can't be on that, so I have to dislike that person. Either side. It just always makes me. That's why I walk the middle. People, when Bush was president, I would go into Texas, and some people go out there that hated George W. Bush and be like, you hate him, don't you? same audience. Other people come out, you must really like him. And that's why I want.
As a comedian, that's what you want.
I don't want people. I mean, for where I'm at, I'm a simple person. I'm not. If I was going after the same audience and had the firm beliefs like a Bill Maher or a Jon Stewart, go for it. That's what you have. But I'm just wishy-washy to start with.
When you were doing the NFL pregame show on Fox, though, did you have to hate Jim Brown, Bill Cowher, Dan Marino, the CBS guys? Was there
JB was still there
at the
time? No, not really.
No?
They didn't even want us to make fun of them because they didn't want to draw attention to it at all. They never
like
wanted
it didn't
to make
exist. Like Boomer Esiason doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing. Sometimes the networks are like that, and sometimes they just don't want to make other people mad. Especially at ESPN now, they don't want me to do impressions of people at other networks just because they don't want a rivalry started in terms of they're kind of the nice people, you know. So they don't want that kind of thing to happen unless you're on Stephen A. Smith's radar. And then I'm incredulous to the entire situation. Let me just say this, Bernard, you're doing a fantastic job. Sidney, I don't know even what your real first name is.
You could do Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley because they both have the same.
He's great at
That's
Barkley.
one of those guys that you look at this election and you look at Donald Trump and you look at Hillary Clinton and realize that's why I should have run. Me and Shaq.
That's right.
Shaq and I should have run.
So good.
That would have been better. Those guys, they don't understand that what happened. I was going to be governor of Alabama. And then I had some problems. Got pulled over, and that changed it all.
Had to wear that pink underwear in Sheriff Arpaio's jail.
It's Tent City.
Tent City, right.
Tent City.
That was hard time.
Tent City's worse than Oklahoma City. That's how bad it is. The men in Oklahoma City, the men in Tent City are worse looking than the women in OKC.
He's one of those guys that he can get away with anything. He's got it.
Anything.
He's
Teflon.
Totally Teflon.
Listen, Donald Trump comes under fire all the time for the way he talks about Mexicans. Correct me if I'm wrong. Charles Barkley threw a Mexican through a window in Orlando one night.
Well, it happens. I have like 10 jokes that I can't do on there.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah, you can.
No, not me. No, because No, it's me, not you guys.
Oh, I see. Damn. Yeah, we don't care if you get you ruin your career as long as you do it here on our show.
Yeah.
That'll be our claim to fame.
I'm always really careful. I have so many jokes that happen in my head that I start to think, wow, if that gets taken the wrong way, because I believe that the PC culture is a problem. I think it's nuts, but it's because it's really all about intent, isn't it? If you say something that could be taken as a racial joke for anywhere, or that could be taken as sexist for some reason, it's just a joke. You mean it as a joke. You don't mean it to hurt someone. Now, if you're out there trying to really hurt an entire race of people, that's something completely different.
But it's gone so bad.
But it all means the same thing now. I was walking. It's so funny because the anger, we were talking about the anger too. I was walking just down the street to go tape this thing at Gotham Comedy Club last night, right? So I go and I'm just walking down the street and people are throwing F this and F that at each other. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a human Twitter feed right now. I feel like I'm in the middle of somebody's beef and people are just ripping each other to shreds to the point where you're like, man, where did this? I haven't seen people this angry since Ghostbusters.
That's New York.
Yeah, but it's everywhere now.
Yeah,
it's happening.
It is everywhere.
I also have a theory. If I'm getting too serious on some of this stuff, you can just stop me.
No,
I'll still do some voices, do some Morgan Freeman, and make it all better again. But I don't think people were made to communicate as quickly as we do. We don't have gatekeepers anymore. Remember, you used to have to work your way up to be heard.
Yeah.
Well, now you can create something by running into traffic every day. If you run into traffic every day and get through it, you're probably eventually going to get hit and killed, right? But you're going to run through it. You can put it on YouTube, and if you're the guy who runs through the traffic every day, you're going to have millions of viewers, and you're going to be able to make. If you can get millions of people to just be your followers or whatever,
you can make
on
money.
YouTube,
you can
make millions of
it. Absolutely.
That one guy, PewDiePie, I think he makes like $7-10 million a year.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Yeah. The kid with the red hair, with the real Goyish family, they're all fat, and he did like a YouTube music video once. He's got his own reality show.
Andy Dalton? No.
Sorry. No. I don't know who you're talking about. But
I don't either.
But
you're
the
right.
kid with red hair, he did like a music video, and he's got the TV show with his grandmother and his fat sister. You know what I'm talking about? They all live in North Carolina.
We're going to look it up.
The Goldberg Show.
The Goldberg Show. We're speaking of Frank Caliendo here on the Bernie and Sid Show. And listen, first of all, the breaking news is that Angelina Jolie has filed for divorce from Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, just occurred. And you have lost a lot of weight. So,
how did you tie those two together?
Because now she's free and you're losing weight. You're a middle-aged man.
I'm married. I'm married.
But it's very telling.
I'd leave her for Angelina Jolie.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point.
Yeah, is that where you want to go?
There we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all.
See, I'm trying
100%.
Trying to hook you up.
She ain't listening right now.
But Frank Caliendo, he's funny. Now, you mentioned you were down in Texas, and of course George W. Bush. You talked about him. You do a fantastic George W. Bush.
I try.
You do.
It gets gets out there.
Oh, my God.
That's uncanny.
You know, it's funny, too, and I always say this, is the really good ones, and Frank is the best.
I don't think but people say a lot. So when I'm in the room, people say that. But I think there's people that are better than Daryl Hammond.
He's been in here a bunch of times.
And when he's here, he says he's the best.
You're right about that.
He's better than you.
Yeah. I don't even have a problem with that.
I'm just kidding.
Daryl Hammond is so. But Daryl Hammond does them differently than I do. Daryl Hammond goes to nail 100% right on the money the voice. Some of the ones I've been doing so far are, but a lot of the times I go to make them more caricatures, kind of like Dana Carvey.
That was my point. The physical
he talked
aspect.
About that. Yeah.
The physical, how you contort your face.
But you go with what you do
and
best.
You do your lips with Donald Trump like you're about to pucker up a butt. It's great.
I wouldn't say it like that. But to me, the Donald Trump joke that I do is it's like he's looking into an aquarium and mimicking the fish the entire time. Like, come here, Nemo. And I'm friends with Dory. We spent a lot of time together.
That's good. Yeah,
he's always friends with everybody, too. Donald Trump is like, listen, I don't want to make fun of Papa John's because they do a tremendous job. I'm friends with Papa John. We play mini golf together. Just, in fact, the other day we were playing laser tag together on Peyton Manning's forehead. Peyton Manning's forehead is the #1 laser tag community, not just in the United States, but in the entire world. It's that great.
That I can tell you. Frank Caliendo and Bernie and Sid, can you hang out?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, we're going to do a couple of commercials and come back with Frank Caliendo, right? The hilarious, who will be, by the way, tomorrow night at the Hartford Funny Bone at 7:30 in Hartford, Connecticut. Thursday night, Wellmont Theater, Montclair, New Jersey. Friday night, Huntington, the Paramount at 8 p.m. And at Saturday, Atlantic City, the Borgata Hotel and Casino at 9 p.m. Frank Caliendo in with Bernie and Sid back after this.
77 WABC.
This is Daryl Hammond doing Al Sharpton. Clearly, we're on WABC, and clearly, it's a great show. You're listening to Bernie and Sid clearly.
There it is, premature articulation there. That was Daryl Hammond doing Al Sharpton. Bernie and Sid back live in studio with the great Frank Caliendo. That's pretty good, Al Sharpton. You know what he does? He does everything. He does two of them. He does the old fat Al Sharpton,
right?
And now he does the new skinnier version.
Yeah.
And amazingly, they sound different, and they're both right on the money. He does that with two folks. Who else? He does two different voices.
Can't recall. He does so many. I don't recall.
Well, I've seen it with. Well, I've done it myself, and I've actually seen other people do it now. But
so it's not so.
Oh, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is the one. The old, vibrant Bill Clinton, and the new kind of failing Bill Clinton.
Right. For me, the William Shatner. You remember everyone who did this voice, but then there's the price line.
That's right.
William Shatner. The one where I've already made enough money. I don't have to try.
Just be chill.
I can just be here.
That's so true.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like when people do impressions is what's your take? What do you find about the person to make it interesting as opposed to just trying to do the voice dead on? So what are you trying to say with that impression? Where are you trying to get with it? So like for me with Al Pacino, the whole take of it is he's been an actor and been in Hollywood so long, he doesn't know reality anymore. So it's like, wait a second.
So you're telling me that you flip a switch over here and the light goes on over here. This is sorcery. I don't believe it. I don't understand.
And like, so for people who say this to me, John Gruden is the new John Madden. And I'm like, no, John Madden would tell you things you already know. John Madden would say things like, hey, that guy's got mud on his jersey. And then you'd be sitting there going, okay. And then he'd explain how to make mud, right? Like if you didn't know how to make mud, John Madden's there to help you out, as though we're all kindergartners.
You got dirt over here, and you got some water over here, and you mix them together, and boom, now you just got one thing of mud.
Gruden, he's actually more like Dennis Miller. And if you remember, Dennis Miller did Monday Night Football. Yeah. And, Miller stuff was over my head. Be like, that's like Agnon Khashoggi waiting in line for the Matterhorn at Disney World. Yeah. And even Stephen A. Smith's watching going, I'm incredulous to this entire situation. But Gruden doesn't know the references. And I watch him a little bit with Sean McDonough. But he used to bounce him off Mike Tirico so much that was their relationship. They'd be like, I'll tell you what, man, that play right there, that play was magical, man. I wonder if he went to school to learn to play like that. What was the name of that school Harry Potter went to, Mike? Hogwarts. I'll tell you what, man, I don't care if you're Minerva McGonagall, Albus Dumbledore, or Severus Snape. You're Harry Potter? You're pretty good at the game of Quidditch, man.
Wow, that's Frank Caliendo in with Bernie and said that is just brilliant, hilarious stuff. He's coming back after Nome with the news.
77 WABC.
Rahami's notes may tell his story. 74 partly cloudy Midtown. Here's the stories we'll be talking about. 77 WABC. Sources close to the investigation into alleged Chelsea bomber Ahmad Khan Rahami telling CNN the 28-year-old may have bought into philosophies of a number of worldwide terror organizations. At least that's what's found in notes scribbled by Rahami, apparently found in a notebook the alleged bomber had on him. And some of Rahami's friends say they saw a drastic change in his personality after making a trip to Afghanistan back in 2014. His father tells NBC he had no idea what his son was up to.
Did you know that your son was doing this?
No.
You had no idea?
No idea.
Sir?
I'm not sure what's going on exactly.
You're not sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening exactly.
And CNN reporting that Rahami's wife may have left the country just days before the bombing. Some law enforcement sources say Rahami's fingerprints on one of the bombs. He's being held $5 million bail, charged with 5 counts of attempted murder of police officers, remains in the hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg.
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC with Frank Caliendo, the brilliant comedian and impressionist. And again, Frank will be tomorrow night in Hartford at the Funny Bone, Thursday night in Montclair, New Jersey at the Wellmont Theater, Friday night in Huntington, New York at the Paramount, and Saturday night in Atlantic City, the Borgata Hotel and Casino at 9 p.m. So Frank is working it, man.
Making big bucks. That's 4 nights, 4 different venues. You got to be making God knows what.
Yeah, over $4 billion.
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but it's a tough.
Well, it started out. Life. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting off the road more. I have 2 little kids. I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I don't remember their names, but I just want to spend more time with them, and I do well, so I just try and pick and choose now, and this week became a thing of making it a full week. Usually I only go on the road for 2 days, but I'm also coaching flag football, and I'm actually missing a football game this week, so the assistant coach is taking over. But yeah, I want to be home more. And
absolutely,
that's what it's
no
all
doubt about
me.
it. So yeah, you pick and choose your spots. You're good like that. You have, as I observed earlier, you lost a lot of weight. You're not when you do these events. You're not drinking a bunch of pops and getting all screwed up.
No, I don't drink at all. I've never had people never. I grew up in Milwaukee, so people don't believe. I've never been drunk in my life.
Never once.
No,
wow.
Huge heroin addict.
Okay, that's
no, but I've never been high on anything or
really?
No, or drunk at all.
Which in your business, that is really rare.
But I grew up kind of as a loner, anyways. But it's just who I am, and there's no religious thing or anything like that. Or
right?
Hey,
it's
a free country.
Just what I am. Yeah.
That joke is like a Rodney Dangerfield joke. I tried weed one time only. I didn't know what I was doing. I was high on cocaine.
I'll tell you.
Hey, listen, you made a great observation. We were watching CNN, and they put up a graphic, a picture of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton is a picture of a grandmother. And then not Bill Clinton, he's not even in the picture. Hillary Clinton's a grandmother, and then Donald Trump, you might as well just draw the devil mustache and beard on him. It's like, and to me, they're doing, they don't like him, right? Most of the media seems to not like him, which is fine. Admit it, though, and just say that out loud, because when it looks like you're trying to hide it like that, all you're doing, people see through that stuff now. Sure. I talk to so many people who are friends of mine. My wife grew up in Ohio, and she's got relatives, and there's a lot of Democrats that I know in Ohio that are voting for Trump just because they see how much the media goes after him,
a lot of backlash,
that they trust him more.
Yeah,
I don't really think you should trust Donald Trump for that reason.
No.
If you do trust him, okay, that's your choice. But if you're going after him, because a lot of people are voting just in spite of the media at this point, and what happens is, I'm looking at those pictures right now. It looks like they're putting it up there unfairly. You might as well have the halo over Hillary,
sure,
and then the devil on the other shoulder.
Well, that's why he's been adamant about this debate coming up on Monday, which again may be the most viewed event in television history.
It's going to be bigger than the MASH finale. I'm promising you that. Nobody cares about Klinger anymore. And Klinger, in today's age, what bathroom would he go into? A lot of people wouldn't know that. A lot of different things going on.
So nobody's nervous that he's going to be mistreated because the media tends to side with her.
I mean, he goes on. He just what he tends to do is what I think he will do is he'll just try and take over it.
Yeah.
I mean, he does that thing where he just starts to take over and goes, I don't care what you're saying. It doesn't matter. Do you know how tall you are, Anderson? Anderson Cooper is 3 apples high and lives in a mushroom house. There's actually a sorcerer trying to turn him into gold. That's how tiny Anderson Cooper is. I don't know, and I can never. I try to look at it objectively the whole time, and to me, it's the silliest election I think we've ever seen. I just can't believe that's even what it is.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon we're witnessing right now. We're kind of lucky to be smack dab in the middle of it.
Well, it depends. We're lucky because that's what we do for a living, Bernard, so it makes our job easier. But I can't tell you how many folks have said to me, wait a second.
That's true, too.
There are 300 million people in this country, and these are the 2 best we can do.
Yeah. You're even waiting for President Obama to say it. Whether you like Obama or not, you're just waiting.
Could you explain this to me? How can this be that the person who's going to succeed me is Hillary or Donald Trump? I've seen John Oliver. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, so
it's like Tanya Harding versus Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
election
right.
Is what it pretty much is.
It's crazy to me that this is where we're at. But again, I guess we deserve it. It's where we're at.
I guess. We voted him in. I mean, he beat 16 people. He didn't get there by accident. So somebody wants him.
Yeah,
he got the most votes in the Republican primary process ever. Now, speaking of
number one vote getter,
that I can tell you. Speaking of trust, there is an actor. His voice inspires trust. Morgan Freeman. He's in a new movie called Ben-Hur. Now, personally,
movie called Ben-Hur.
That's right.
You mean the remake?
The remake.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So I see Ben-Hur. I see Morgan Freeman in the trailers for Ben-Hur, and I just can't buy it. He's wearing these ancient costumes. All I see is Morgan Freeman on an acting set. I mean, at this point, but. Still, the voice is there from Driving Miss Daisy, and I know nobody does it better than Frank Caliendo.
Yeah, nobody.
Well, there are so many times and so many ways to look at so many things. Ben-Hur. There's a Caitlyn Jenner joke there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's been her for quite a while now.
Drop the mic.
Took me a second.
Drop the
Probably
mic,
shouldn't
baby.
have kept going.
That was great.
I didn't have that joke until I was forcing myself to figure it out.
You're going to use it tomorrow
I
night?
probably will. I don't know. That one. That might be the only place I ever do that, but I just realized that's a pretty solid joke.
You heard it right here. Frank Caliendo, ad lib of Ben-Hur, Morgan Freeman.
It was tremendous. That was the number one joke.
Yes. Fantastic.
It was beautiful, too, because you had the Shawshank music in the background.
Right.
While it was made you, inspired you, didn't it?
Absolutely. It really did. Me? Are we talking about me? Because everything is... You know what? I've actually tattooed pictures of myself inside my eyelids, so when I blink, I get to see 2 of me.
Come on, man. Yeah, some of your early influences, Jonathan Winters, Dana Carvey, Robin Williams.
Well, the serious Robin. Oh. The one where you grow a beard and win an Academy Award.
Wow, that's
there
great.
You go.
Jonathan Winters was always fun. I did something just a little weird today. Something most people don't do. It involves a kitty cat, a dog, and a box of Tinker Toys. And not sure if I should be telling you this, but there's a spot on those animals you're not supposed to connect with a toy.
Oh.
I'm going to get in trouble for that one, huh? Bernie said, oh, that's a good one.
Yo, that's funny, man.
Money.
Yeah, I can't even do that on stage anymore.
Oh, man.
No, nobody can. Nobody knows who the hell he is.
Nobody remembers.
But it's a mad world.
Oh, yeah.
Funniest
Get
epic.
Get on the bike and start riding.
Right.
I'd like to ride that bike all over the place and have Morgan Freeman narrate it for me.
Well, you're starting to turn into Marty Frickert halfway through.
Oh, my God.
There you go, Sonny.
Uncanny.
Unreal.
Did you get a lot of from watching old movies? You picked up voices and repeating.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I just watched a lot of television. I don't even watch a lot of TV
What was the
anymore.
first voice you did where you said, you know what, I could actually make a living doing this? I mean, I'm pretty good. Who was it?
I don't know if that's what it was. I jutted my chin out, looked in the mirror, and this was in, like the 90s, and I just started doing a Jay Leno. I was like, hey, how would you like some nacho cheese flavored Doritos? They crunch all you want. We'll make more. Me. Turned into Beaker from the Muppets. Eventually, they all.
But even the blinking in the eyes, you got it down, man. The way you move your head like that, that's Jay.
You try to become the person.
Right.
It's right. And embody what they are. There's always a little piece of me in it too, which I've been working on the acting side of this stuff a lot outside of the impressions. So trying to figure out how to make that happen with non-impression type characters, because a lot of times a character is just somebody that isn't famous.
Right.
Like
it could be funny.
Yeah, and the difference between the impression is everybody doesn't have this. With an impression, everybody has the frame of reference, right? But with a character that's built on somebody and nobody else does, you have to create the frame of reference for them.
I remember when James Gandolfini, God rest his soul, Tony Soprano.
I know it well. I don't even know what your problem is. Wow. Get on with it, shit. Could you do it?
No. He one time.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start playing Journey and see how it feels to you. How's that? Is that going to make you feel good about yourself?
He one time crashed his Vespa in Lower Manhattan. It's a true story, okay? And he's laying there, he's bleeding. He's on the sidewalk, he's bleeding.
He was on a Vespa?
He was on a Vespa.
Yeah.
So the guy runs over to him and goes, oh, my God, Anthony, are you okay? And he looks up. It's a true story. It's documented. He goes, jerk off. My name is James. That's the guy I play on television. And believe it or not, when he quit The Sopranos, because he did quit before he died.
And then I frickin' stabbed him.
But he was aggravated that people couldn't decipher the man from the character. Like when people...
Yeah, tell Bob Denver about it. Gilligan.
But listen, the people even know your name half the time.
No. But the people don't know.
That's the guy that does
people don't know anybody's name anymore. I mean, that...
Does it bother you?
I mean, no, but like my son will watch. My son doesn't know the difference between Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
Is that right?
Hey, his dad, isn't that one of the Jimmys? Like he doesn't even. He knows the Jimmy. And how famous is Fallon right now? So and Kimmel too. Kimmel just hosted the Emmys. So it's always funny for me because I've known Jim Kimmel for such a long time. But yeah, I mean, people don't know anybody's names. Like, there's a guy at Gotham Comedy Club last night that looked like Jeremy Renner. If I said Jeremy Renner, nobody would know. I'd be like, Hawkeye?
Right.
Hawkeye from the Avengers. I'm like, he looks like Hawkeye.
Right.
I even forgot.
Yeah.
Frank Caliendo in studio. You got to, just briefly, know, obviously, you've known Terry Bradshaw for a long time.
I'll tell you what. That's some good stuff right there.
And it's a nice guy. That's a nice man.
He's great. Do we have time here for another minute? Because I thought you guys had to go. So, So I look forward to football season, even more so than football now, for the Terry Bradshaw commercials. Because halfway through the commercial, you realize they just gave up and let him do whatever he wants. Like, there's a writer that's going, Terry, just do it. Because, like, the Nutrisystem commercial, like, there's no way that could get through whatever the FTC or anything. Like, I was tired of being fat and ugly. It's Nutrisystem. They can't help you with ugly. There's nothing on the back of the package that says, this will help. We don't guarantee, but you may not be as ugly after 6 weeks.
Skinny and ugly, maybe.
Right. And then came the shingles commercial thing.
Oh, boy.
Which is the greatest piece of television ever. Because it's so realistic, where he's like, hi, I'm Terry. He knocks on somebody's door, right? He knocks on the door. Hi, I'm Terry Bradshaw, and I have shingles. Let me come in your house, sit on your couch, and tell you about it.
Oh, God.
Why don't you call me from the car? Could you give me maybe leave me a flyer?
That's somebody,
or just, email it to me. Don't even touch the paper.
God.
That's...
You had chicken pox.
Frank Caliendo, listen, man, we are out of time. You're brilliant, hilarious. Frank Caliendo, don't forget, tomorrow night in Hartford at the Funny Bone, Thursday night, Montclair, New Jersey, Wellmont Theater. Friday night, the Paramount in Huntington. And Saturday night, Atlantic City, the Borgata Hotel and Casino. Frank Caliendo and Bernie said thank you very much.
Thank you. And frankonstage.com will take you the info for all the tickets and all that stuff. Thanks, guys.
Keep it easy right there. All right, Frank, good luck. Godspeed. Back after this.
77 WABC. Traffic and Transit.
The Cross Island Parkway northbound near Northern Boulevard. Accident in the 2 left lanes is causing a 10-minute delay from the LIE. In Manhattan, the FDR Drive northbound off-ramp to 42nd Street is closed due to police activity, and that's causing delays to 20th Street. First Avenue also closed northbound between East 42nd and East 49th Streets, and at Marcy Avenue, the J&M subways are back on time. Checking the forecast from Channel 7's Bill Evans, partly sunny, 74, 84 for today's high, 67 overnight, 84 and sunny tomorrow. Our next report in about 15 minutes, Angela Chase.